Breaking Through by Brenda Smith. Chapter 5, Supporting Details and Organizational Patterns. Patterns of organization, Pattern 6, Comparison, listing similarities among items. Some signal words are in a similar way. Similar, parallels, likewise, in a like manner. That's when you look at two different things and you tell me what both of those two things have in common. So this describes person, places, things, and so on to let me know what is the commonality, not the differences, but only the commonalities among those two things. Patterns of organization, Pattern 7, Contrast, the opposite to comparison, listing differences among items, how two items are different, not similar. Signal words are, on the other hand, bigger than, but, however, on the contrary, although, and nevertheless. That's when you're showing the differences between two items. It is very common to have compare and contrast together in one paragraph. No problem. Just make sure you don't compare or confuse your signal words when you're comparing and contrasting. Make sure you're using comparison words to compare and contrast words to contrast. Patterns of organization, Pattern number 8, Cause and Effect, showing one element as producing or causing a result or effect. So what kind of words will you see on that account? Thus, made, therefore, because, for this reason, consequently, and hence. One thing has come about because something else occurred. So they go hand in hand and they are linked together. Patterns of organization, Pattern number 9, Addition, providing additional information to whatever you've already provided. And we know we're adding because you'll see signal words like further, furthermore, moreover, besides, likewise, again, and also. So you were explaining beyond what you initially stated. Nothing has to be in order. You're just describing and explaining. And that's the addition pattern. Patterns of organization, Pattern number 10, Location and spatial order, identifying the whereabouts of objects in the space around us, the open space. So these are highly descriptive words, and you use this typically in directions or describing a person, place, or thing. Signal words, beside, around, to the right or left, opposite, to, without, within, next to, near, below, above, close by, within, or adjacent. So you hear this all the time in directions and describing because it's talking about a person, place, or thing in the space around us, how we actually deal with other objects around us. Patterns of organization, Pattern number 11, and our last pattern. Summary, condensing major points. Notice how it says major points, not minor. Minor we leave out when we are summarizing or condensing. Signal words to let us know that we're coming to an end, we're summarizing, we're condensing, we're concluding are, in conclusion, briefly, to sum up, in short, and in a nutshell. You typically use summary for the last paragraph of your essay or your written material. And this is what you typically see at the end of someone else's material. So it lets the reader know I'm coming to an end. I'm going to tie everything up in a nice little bow, and I'm going to give you a signal word to let you know I'm going to do it. So this is a great way to end your material by giving a signal that you are now summarizing. Summary points. What did you learn during this chapter? What is a detail? Well, remember, a detail is everything besides the main idea. So if you find a main idea, everything else will be details. How do you distinguish between major and minor details? Well, remember, major details directly back up a main idea, and a minor detail directly back up a major detail. Minor details are always optional, and they're the first to be deleted when you're writing a summary. What is a simple listing pattern? That's like a grocery list. When time is not important, it's just 1, 2, 3 ABC items, but you can mix them up. What is a classification pattern? That's when you take the complex and you simplify it into groups, categories, or ideas. And it's very specific and it uses those words. What is a definition with examples pattern? Very common in textbooks. It throws out a definition, then it gives you examples so you really understand that definition thoroughly without having to go to a dictionary. What is chronological or sequence pattern? That's when time does matter, like in history or in math or science. There must be a sequence. You have to follow ABC 1, 2, 3 or the outcome will be different. What is a comparison or contrast pattern? That's when you're comparing two like things or you're contrasting different things, and you'll use those words in contrast, in comparison. What is a cause and effect pattern? That's when you have one thing that derives from something else. So there is a cause and effect. One thing leads from something else. I stayed up all night studying, therefore I passed the test with an A. One thing is related to something else, and it uses those words to show how they are related. Visit the companion website for Breaking Through by Brenda Smith. Go to www.ablongman.com/Smith and click on More Activities and Assignments to further review this information.